Hello everybody and welcome back, and let us actually see what was the problem in our bruteforce.sh.py file. So I found out what the problem was, and the problem was that this actually performed the brute force function relatively fast, and that's why I didn't even have enough time to perform the connection fully, or should I say it didn't perform the connection till the very end. So in order to do that, what we want to do is add a timeout. So this doesn't perform this fast. We want to add a timeout, but we do not want to add too big of a timeout, since then it will brute force one password per every 3 seconds. So we want to add a timeout, for example, 1 second or half a second. And the part where we actually want to add that timeout is the child.expect prompt. So go down here, and all we want to do is add a comma right here. So this is the part where it can actually perform the part of this function really slow. So it actually depends from the target as well, how fast it will give us the prompt for the SSH. It actually depends from our speed of the internet as well. So we want to give a certain timeout so this can actually have enough time to prompt us back with our prompt. Now there is also one more thing that we missed, which is the prompt itself. We didn't copy it, we just copied the function, so we need to copy the prompt itself. But first of all, let's add the timeout right here to be 0.5 seconds, which I believe should be enough. If it is not, we will change that. And we need to add the prompt as in the sh.login.py file. We need to add the prompt from the strings that we actually want to get from the target. So we add this. Let us just copy it from the previous program, so I don't actually spend time writing that. So I will just copy this part right here. This is the prompt that we expect. Nano the brute SSH, and I will paste it right here. So I paste this right here. We have the timeout, and right now, if I just try to run the program once again, so brute force SSH, we enter the IP address of our Metasploitable. The user account will be msfadmin, and let's see, so wrong password, and we get the password found. So right now we successfully coded the brute forcer, as we can see that it found the password which was the correct one, which is the msfadmin. And let's see how fast we can make this go. Since our timeout is 0.5 seconds, let's see if we can actually make this go a little bit faster if we make a timeout, or if we actually remove the timeout. So let's nano the brute force.sh. We will remove the timeout to see if it will go any faster, and if it does go faster, if it finds our password. So 192.168.1.6 msfadmin. Enter user account you want to brute force. For some reason right now this isn't working, but that's why I said that we need to use the actual timeout. So let us actually add it back. Obviously we can't go without it, so let us add it to be 0.5 seconds. It goes relatively fast even with the timeout being 0.5 seconds. So we can actually use this as a program, as a brute forcer, so it is relatively fast. msfadmin. So another thing you can actually do is try to make a threaded version of this program, so it actually runs every password brute force on a single thread simultaneously. So that is another option you can do. Right now, let us see what else we can add to our brute forcer. So first of all, we can actually try to execute the command once we find the right password. So you can try to execute the cat shadow command if you want to, if you are brute forcing our root account, or we can just try to test it out if we are able to even execute the command right after we find the password. So how we can do that? We can actually first copy the send command function from our ssh.login.py, which is right here. So just select this function right here, since we don't really need to code it twice. We go to our brute force sh.py, and we add our send function right here. So here it is. all we want to do is see where we can actually add that function and what we can execute. So let's see right here. So we try to connect. If we connect, we print that the password was found, and right after that we can actually execute the command to target system. So send command. We see what arguments that command takes. So it takes the child and the command. We can just paste this child to the send command function. And also we want to send the command, for example, let that command be pwd, so print working directory, or who am I, it doesn't even matter. You can try to execute any command you want. For now on, we just want to see if this will work. So let's press this enter. Let's enter the IP address, so 192.168.1.6, MSFadmin. We start the brute forcer. It found the password and it also executed the command, which is the who am I, MSFadmin, and we got the prompted back with our terminal output. So here is it, who am I, the command is the output is MSFadmin. So if we check that on our Metasploitable, you can see if I just type who am I, we can see we get the MSFadmin. So this works correctly. But right now we can actually try to add a little bit of a color to our program. So we did that in the previous videos. Right now we will import a term color library. So import colored, which will allow us to print incorrect passwords in red and correct passwords in green. So you know that in order to do this, we need to actually have the Python 3 library, and in order to have Python 3 library and this program to work, we need to change every print statement and every raw input statement in order to match the Python 3 syntax. So print statements should be something like this, and we add the colored function, we open another bracket, and then right after here what we want to do is set a comma and print that in green, since this is the password found. We close the two brackets and we want to do same here. So red password, when it is incorrect, should be printed out in red, and right here we want to print the open bracket, colored, open another bracket, and then leave this like this. Also we want to change the raw input into just input, so just delete the raw underscore, delete right here the raw underscore, and save this. Also here are two print statements which we need to change as well. Error connecting, we need to set that between the brackets, and here as well error connecting needs to be set between the brackets. Let me just see if that's it. So let us try to run this. Python 3 bruteforce.sh, print child before, so we also need to nano that, so print child before needs to be in the brackets as well. And also let's actually remove this end command, since we don't really need that. We just want to make a brute forcer, so let's see if now it should work. No module named pexpect. So Python 3 doesn't seem to actually have the pexpect. Okay, so no module named pexpect. Let's see if we can install it for Python 3. In order to install it, you can just type pip3 install Python 3. Oops, not Python 3. Pexpect. So let's try that one. Now, we might not even have the pip3 installed, I'm not really sure, but we can try to, if this doesn't work, it doesn't really matter. What does matter is that our brute forcer does work. It can find the right password for the SSH account, it can brute force relatively fast, and we actually can attack a single target with a good password list. Such, for example, is those password lists with 10,000 most used SSH passwords, which you can use in order to test on some target that you have permission to scan on. So we successfully downloaded the pexpect library. Now let's try to import it in Python 3 to see if it worked. Pexpect. So it works like now. Let us run the brute sh.py. Enter IP address of the target to brute force 192.168.1.6. Enter user account you want to brute force, MSFadmin. So wrong password, let's see if it will find it, and we can see our program works. We found the correct password, we printed it out in green, it is easily noticeable, and our brute forcer is now complete. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I see you in the next one, where we will actually start coding some of the FTP attacks. So hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I see you in the next lecture. Bye!